Who is Paolo Nutini?
Politician?
A designer.
Is he from Ireland?
Oh, mercy, mercy me.
Is he any good?
Complete genius.
They're both Celtic supporters.
And nobody, I don't know.
Rubbish.
Good rubbish. So Nutini is nervous.
In 2006, singer-songwriter Paolo Nutini released his first album, These Streets, at the age of 19. In just 6 months, the young Scot sold over 1 million CDs, toured with the Rolling Stones, shared the stage with Robert Plant, and played New York's legendary Carnegie Hall. For Paolo, it's been a frenetic journey from his family's chip shop in Paisley. At the start of this year, and already a star in the UK and Europe, Paolo travelled to the States to make his transatlantic debut. Artworks followed to see if he could succeed where Oasis and even Robbie Williams had failed. How would the lad cope with 2 months of non-stop self-promotion? Can Paolo crack America, or will America break him?
This is a fast country, fast and furious, man. And for somebody like me that kind of likes to just dawdle along now and again, it's like sometimes catches up on you and, you know, kicks you in the ass. Yep, we're going, and yeah, hopefully you'll see what happens. Come on! Come on!
Here I am, the star of the day, the garbage guy.
It's the first week of Paolo's 2-month tour, and his album gets its US release today.
Hey! Bloody hell, it's early.
Impressively for someone with his relatively low profile, he's been booked onto some of the country's biggest television and radio shows.
I want a stage manager here. Mick. How you doing, Mick?
A slot on the Today Show in front of 6 million viewers is one of the most coveted of all. But that only adds to the pressure on Paolo.
I know, it's early, it sucks, but you're not going to get any sympathy from anybody here. Because we do it every day. I know.
Hey, let's rehearse the Paolo Nutini band.
3, 2, 1.
Paolo is right at the beginning here in America. You know, people are just starting to tune into what he's doing, and I think a lot of the buzz from all over the rest of the world is a little bit starting to filter over here, but he's going to work his ass off. I mean, basically from the second he gets up in the morning until he's done playing at night.
Although I sound crap just now, I'm going to try and wake it up, and then try again. Hopefully I'll be able to sing.
We'll have you rehearse the song again. That means you guys have to be camera ready at 8:15. We'll have you come up at like 8:20, something like that.
Judging by the response from the TV stations and the radio, I'd say it's more encouraging a start than it was in the UK. So, and as I said, they're just not too cynical. They just don't really look with as much cynicism on a young Scottish guy singing what is perceived as soul music.
Well, he's 20 years old. He already has a platinum CD, and he got to open for the Stones. Now, Scottish singer-songwriter Paolo Nutini is finally coming to America, releasing his debut album called These Streets, and it releases today. So as you come to America, are you at all nervous about this?
Yeah, I'm a little, you know, but I'm more, I think I speak for us all, we're all just curious as to where we can go, you know, what we can do.
Put some new shoes on and suddenly everything is right. I said, hey, I put some new shoes on and everybody's smiling. It's so inviting, no.
The CD is called These Streets, Paolo Nutini.
Good work. Yeah. Done it. I done it.
Well done, man.
Sex trap. Please don't want a sex trap.
Paolo's passed trial by live TV, but his working days only just begun.
Serious 18 of the Spectrum. It's Demos with Paolo Nutini. Thank you for coming to the Spectrum Studios. You mind signing the wall, the Serious wall?
Yep.
Excellent. Let's do this.
This one?
No, yeah. Actually, I'd like this one. You can do a doodle while you're at it.
I'm going here. Being a musician isn't really all what I'm doing right now is about. You know, it's about being in cars and being in taxis and driving about in tour buses to get somewhere, and then going into radio stations and hanging around, meeting some folks, singing a couple of songs, signing a whole load of autographs, taking a whole load of photos.
1, 2, 3, follow!
The amount of people that have a photo of me is insane. You know, if it's true, if every little photo is a little part of your soul gone away, I need to hide for a while, get some of it back.
Series 9, The Pulse. I'm Karen Carson. He's got the #1 song in the UK right now. Don't let the Italian name fool you. He is Scottish. It's Paolo Nutini. I'm so glad you're here.
Paolo Nutini is not a very Scottish name, I've been told, surprisingly. And then we get into why I've got an Italian name, the same scroll through. So what's the other one? So what was it like growing up above a chip shop? Absolute nonsense.
Picking up the pieces of the wreck you when I left.
Everybody seems to think that my aim is to sell maximum records, you know, despite the fact that I've told them over and over again. You know. It's to do it in a way where you're not going against what's inside yourself, you know, and they feel like by sending you to different parts of the world at the least convenient time, it is doing you a favour. You know, if there's a disaster and it looks like it's not going well, then maybe we can finish early and start getting on with this next record.
Not sleeping at night, but I'm going from bad to bad. What got me just right? What got me just right? What got me just right?
On the bigger picture, you know, it's a pretty blessed life to be living just now, so, you know, every time you get to the point where you think you don't want to do it, if you think you got too much today, then you seem to be able to put it in perspective, and I think that's the beauty of it. So yeah, I'm going to stop rambling on.
But I'm going from bad.
After a long day at the office, there's occasionally the chance for a little recreation. Tonight, Paul Weller, who discovered and toured with Paolo when he was virtually unknown, is also in town, and he's left a backstage pass at the door with Paolo's name on it.
Oi, oi. Is that what I do? He was in the gutter when I first met him, and we dragged him out of the gutter and we got him on tour with us. He played in Germany with us. We did a thing back last April, maybe something like that. We did about half a dozen shows, and he did the support thing with us, yeah.
With Paolo and any kind of famous person, he's incredibly fantastic at just, alright mate, how you doing? You know, really, really just on a level with him. And for me, that's kind of one of the things that makes him a real star. You know, he might be bricking it inside, but he just kind of chats away to them about football or the shoes that they're wearing, or it's just a fantastic sort of gift that he's got.
The best thing about the people I've met, you know, whether it be Rod Stewart, Paul Weller, to the Nile Rodgers, or Benny King, you know, they know the score, they know that they've been the young kid, you know, just sort of putting yourself out there. You always want to try, be yourself, you know, you think, I'd love them to actually ask you out, you know, you want to try and come across like they could maybe ask you to go for a beer. That's the thing, that's what I hope to do. I hope to go and hope to, you know, catch up with Paul, you know, maybe at some point and have a beer and get a bit of the wisdom, you know, and all senses of the word.
Together are helping me survive. What do you think? Brought the sunshine out today when it's you.
Which is great to hear people singing again, you know, singing properly, and it's just nice to hear some soulful voices again, you know, after all these sort of years of sort of squeaky, sort of tweaky little, you know, people we won't mention, but anyway, but yes, it's nice to hear someone with a proper voice, you know.
That makes me love you, and now I'm